See, at that age, did you know you were good?
What, we were
Football. At football.
No, I didn't know if I was good, bad or indifferent, but I enjoyed it.
Just loved it.
Aye. So to play for Scotland was every wee boy's dream. And I wasn't an exception to that.
Andy Robertson doing really well at Liverpool. You've got to say closing in on that record of your caps. Do you think you'll get there?
I think he should retire for international football.
Kenny, welcome. You made the trip back up north. How was it?
I don't come here often enough. Once you get up, you start to get the old memories come back. So,
what's those memories?
Good. The memories was I wasn't. We were brought up, or no brought up, but like 14 or 15, we moved there to Ibrox. So I was looking for the road that used to come alongside the.
It's all houses now.
The water, right? No, it's all offices. It wasn't where I was brought up.
But what's your memory like? You know, you've got the train up here today, arriving in Glasgow, coming here, must bring back some fantastic memories being back home.
It is. It's always pleasant to come home. I mean, you didn't leave for anything other than your career, did you? You left because you wanted to do a bit more in the football world. But coming back here, it was a great place to be brought up, and you don't realise it until you've gone.
Well, take us back to that when you're on the streets playing as a young kid. I mean, you don't see that nowadays, but I mean, we've all been there when you're on the streets, but I mean, it must have been fantastic.
Aye, the streets were brilliant. You played until half time. If it was a game live on the telly, like usually a European Cup final, you go out and have a wee kickabout, and then the game was starting. So you'd run up to the house, and it was black and white tellies then. You watch your telly, and then come out at half time. We'd have a game in the street. But we did the same. Even when the tennis was on Wimbledon,
the courts were drawn, the chalk was out.
We couldn't play. No, there was a couple of tennis courts in the park. We used to go down there and play, and we were garbage, mind you. But well, and then when the athletics were on, used to go on Friday night or something. We used to go and race round the block. I don't know how. Not one of us got knocked in. I don't know why. I don't know.
See, at that age, did you know you were good?
What? We were
football. At football?
No, I didn't know if it was good, bad or indifferent, but I enjoyed it.
Just loved it.
Aye. Everybody was the same.
Was it, who else was, you know, at your age?
Where I lived?
Yeah, who else, like, in terms of football?
There was nobody.
No? You playing with the older ones?
It was like the OK Corral. It wasn't. There might have been a couple of them locked up by now. No, we used to have there was a boy called Dean Ross who was older than me, but he came down to Liverpool, and he was in the same class as my sister, my older sister at school. So we played with him and a couple of other guys, and they're all one of the guys' dads must have been a plumber. Because he made wee goals for us, you know, the pipes, right? Built it up. We used to put the goals up and play, like have a game on the pitch.
So you never even had the jumpers? Didn't you have to throw the jumpers down?
No, but we all got the same strip for Christmas. For Mum and Dad, so with the wee team going out to play.
The team would play together. What you go back to? What was your first steps of you speaking about in terms of playing boys club football and then getting into the professional game?
No, it started with the school. Through playing on the park there, the school was just next to it. Mm-hmm. Although it wasn't a pitch, we just made it a pitch. And they had a school team, but there was two parts. I was in the annex, and the school team was 8 upwards. So I was only 7. And the teacher was saying, "Oh, we're a player short for the match." And the guy said, "Oh, there's a guy goes to the school, wee guy, he'll play." So he couldn't find us. He said, he's no listed in the school. He said, "No, he's in the annex." So they threw me in goal.
So you could have been a goalkeeper?
No, I couldn't have been a goalkeeper. So that was me in goal.
That was the start of it?
Aye, and then one of the boys took us down to Postal YM when I was about 13. You're playing for the schools and you go to your secondary school. They had a team as well. But it started Postal YM played with them, and they were quite famous really for what they'd done, because they were affiliated to Arsenal, and they're really good players, some really good guys, and we went and played with them. And when 15, I moved from there to the guy that ran the YM, or our team in the YM. He went to Glasgow United, so just followed him over.
So how did Celtic come about then?
We played against Celtic. A couple of the boys were on the ground staff, and we played against them up at Barrowfield. We beat them 3-2. And I happened to score one. And Big Jock was there watching the game. Sean Farnham was there. And he said to a fellow, we fancy that wee fat boy there in the middle. Says, but we understand he's gone to Rangers. He says, well, he doesn't understand that. So they come up to the house a few days later, and that was it.
You were a Rangers fan though?
My dad used to take me to Rangers,
Yeah.
but he never ever asked
Yeah.
if I wanted to go. So I'm glad they never.
No.
Because I wouldn't have been as happy as what I was. Celtic was magnificent.
What made your decision? You obviously had a conversation with your dad, and at that time decided where to go. But what was the main reason for saying no? I'm going to Celtic.
Oh, well, Sean Farnham came up to the house, and then when he left, my dad said, "What do you think?" I said, "What do I think? I don't know. I'm 16 or something." He said, "What can I think?" I said, "I thought you'd want me to go to Rangers." He says, "No." He says, "You go to Celtic." He said, "That's the best place you could go. That's the best place for any young kid now. They just gone through the process of winning the European Cup." He says, "You go there."
Never looked back.
I never looked forward either. I just had no vision.
What did you go into? I mean, you went into like a Celtic team who'd just been successful, but how quick was your progression?
No, at 16, I went to work as an apprentice joiner, because you don't know if you're going to make it as a player, did you? I never went full time. I didn't want to go in the ground staff, because you end up painting the crush barriers and all that when it's come back pre-season, because I've got to paint them, and somebody's got to do it. So I thought, no, I'd rather just take up a job. If you get an apprenticeship, it was a joiner. I was garbage at that as well. So went there and used to train Tuesdays and Thursdays, night time. They farmed. Look, farmed, you might not understand it in English, but the boys will. they put you out to semi-professional, like non-league in England, which is the juniors up here. So there was a few as myself, Danny McGrain, Vic Davison, Paul Wilson, and I probably forgot some, Ed Louis McCarry. We all went to play for, I think Louis went to Largs. I went to Cumbernauld. Victor was Ashfield, I think, and Danny was Maryhill. So it was all semi-professional teams, just to toughen us up a wee bit. Well, if you'd played in the Glasgow Amateur League, if you weren't toughened up, you were struggling. So you got enough. But these guys were all guys that been at clubs, been professionals, been bombed, had to get a job. So they worked, played football, trained twice a week. Then it was tough.
That doesn't happen now. It doesn't happen now. Do you think that's maybe something? I mean, I know Scotland's maybe turned the corner, hopefully turned the corner now and then. Do you look back at those moments where, you know, a lot of kids, especially in academies now, don't get that opportunity maybe to like 21, 22? I mean, you're getting that at 16, playing against men on a weekly basis that means something. Is that something we could maybe go back to and look and say, well, you're putting them in that environment where they have to toughen up?
Well, I don't think it is as tough for them now. But also, the leagues that they play in, I mean, they can't play for two teams, can they? If they're over 14, 15. You can't play for the school in the morning and the amateur side in the afternoon. We did that. But you would have thought that going into a professional club, they'll have proper coaches there. They'll have people who can go and develop them, educate them, just work on them. But then, where did they play?
I think even for the likes of yourself, you know, you speak about it as a young boy, you're going out and loaning that, but I think nowadays, especially a lot of the younger ones, when they're maybe potentially going out, it's like, well, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to stay here and fight for my... But you obviously went, came back, and then your Celtic career just took off straight away.
Well, I went for a year to Cumbernauld. They just started, and it was brilliant. The guys were brilliant. If somebody kicked you, they kicked them. So you just never get involved in the fights. You left that to the older boys.
The bigger ones.
Aye.
How
played there.
How did your Celtic debut come on the back of that?
How did it come?
Like when it comes.
Oh.
And how
No,
did
but
you feel?
they went there the first year,
Yeah.
right? And my dad get called up to Celtic Park, so Big Jock said to me, says, I think we'll put him out for another year. And my dad said, no, I don't think so. I mean, for somebody to I have a different opinion to Big Jock, must have been half his head, right? So he said, I don't think so. He said, oh. He says, well, what do you want? He said, well, he said, the only thing they're afraid of here is if he comes, right? He comes in for like full time and he doesn't get many games. But I said, well, that's his problem. He went, oh, all right. And that was me, full time. And then.
So did your dad take that decision out your hands, basically? When you're speaking there, it was a case of, no, you're going in there, son.
Oh, he never forced us to do it, but he just thought it would be best for me. So.
And he was right.
Was a step up from that a massive jump? So you go into that full-time environment. For a young kid now going in the first team environment, it's a huge jump.
But the great benefit we had, Steve, was we trained with the Lisbon Lions.
Aye, so you had that experience.
Big Jock, I mean, they'd won 5 trophies in 67, didn't they? And but can't win any more than that. So he had a lot of time he could spend with us as youngsters and just training with them. And the boys were brilliant, by the way. You joined in, you obviously a bit nervous. I mean, I used to meet Danny McGrain in Argyle Street. I came from Ibrox to get the bus 64 to Auchenshugel or something. And Danny came from Drumchapel and we were going in for training or turn up the bus. By the way, we were nervous, even going to training. But they boys were brilliant. You made a mistake, never gave you a volley, just encouraged you, and they were brilliant.
Who did you look up to in that particular team?
Celtic team?
Yeah.
None of them really. No, Bobby Murdoch was unbelievable. Wee Jimmy, Billy McNeil, he was a fantastic captain, and he was still there when we started to come through. But the whole lot of them were really helpful, encouraging. Wee Bertie Hall was a different type to Billy McNeil. Bertie was a wee bit half a seed. But pleasantly off his head. Well, where I was brought up, he didn't stay far from there, so it was good. And they were good lads. Honestly, really good. Apart from fantastic players, they were really good lads and really welcomed us in.
And Jock Stein, how would you describe?
You didn't want him to speak to you.
Dodging him.
Aye. Trying to hide on. And I remember going into I went into the boot room and he followed us in. And I went, oh no. He says, what are you in here for? I went, well, I think I'm in for my boots. He says, well, don't. He says, you just look after your boots. He says, you're playing tomorrow. I went, what? I was only 18 or something. He says, you're playing tomorrow. I went, oh. You mean I'm playing tomorrow? He went, aye. I went, oh, okay. That was it. That was...
And then when you left there, back with your dad, back to the family, you're telling them you're playing tomorrow?
Aye. But I think he said to me, he said, you're playing tomorrow, but don't tell anybody.
You did.
And I went, oh, no, I never. But when I got home, there was a pressman at the door. I said, I never told him.
It's amazing though, like you go back to your family, your dad, how was training, you playing them, oh no, I can't say anything, I'll get dropped.
What's surprising though, see when you say they were a good bunch of guys, like when you hear about old squads, it was really tough love and you either sink or swim. That sounds as if it was total opposite of you, that they were motivating you, encouraging you to be better. Is there then become a point, or what point does it come that you start to think, I should be here, I should be a starter, I should be
the Lisbon Lions.
Was there a point?
I was lucky to get a game in training. No, never.
At no point?
No, but they were getting older, we were just developing.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's some of them there, but unbelievable. Like Danny McGrain was, he was really unlucky because getting towards the end of his career, he picked up a couple of things that really stopped him.
Yeah.
For going where he should have been, and he was as good as any right back I've ever seen. But the boys that were there were everything, encouraging the whole lot. That's and it's amazing for them to be that caring about it, and humble, because one day you're going to take their place over if you're any good, isn't you?
But that seems to, knowing you as I do, that seems to be the way you've been all through your career. You never put. I mean, you're an absolute legend of the game. You've won everything, but you never put yourself up here. Was that just because of the upbringing, or? I know it's difficult to speak about yourself, but I mean, we can all do it and everybody else can do it. But I think when you look back at what you've achieved in the game, you are up there with the greats. But do you think that upbringing is because it's shaped you?
Yeah, well, obviously it must have, mustn't it? You are what you are. So the way what you are is gratitude to your parents, isn't it? That's whatever they think. I mean, you've got kids your own. Interesting to see how they grow up.
Well, let's go. I mean, you're in the Celtic team now. You're scoring goals. You're flying. What, 4 league titles?
No, it wasn't that quick.
No.
When did you know you were good though? At what age did you actually think?
I never
thought anything. Were you just striving to be better all the time and think, I just want to be as good as whoever you thought was the best?
I just did, but I thought was. You should do, or trying to. I mean, I remember I was about 20 when I got the Old Firm debut. And I used to always find it interesting to look at the opposition you were going to play and who the goalkeepers or the centre-backs or whatever. And you wasn't a great deal of television, but you could see if they were, what their weaknesses were or what you thought they were or something. And what habits they had. The same as you had a habit. They must have had it as well. So we went to Ibrox and I was playing. It was Rangers Celtic had drawn in the League Cup section. I mean, imagine putting them two together. But they're in the League Cup section. The first game was at Ibrox. They were renovating the stand at Celtic. So we played the 2 games for the League Cup there. And the first game of the Old Firm game was usually September. And we had to play that away as well at Rangers. So between August and September, there's 3 away games. So the first one, we're playing, we're winning 1-0. John Hughes got pulled in penalty. So Big Billy came up, McNeil came up and ran up to us and went, you take it. Obviously, I wasn't happy, right? But I can't tell you what I said. It's no fair. So I went, no. He went, take it. He says, you took them for the reserves. I said, Billy, there's more photographers there than what there were fans at our game. I said, how can? He said, just take it. Oh, Jesus Christ. So I went up. I tied my lace. It wasn't even loose. Right? I bent down to pick it up and I'm looking and big Peter McCloy was in goal. So I'm thinking, every time I've seen him with a penalty, he's always going down on his left knee or left side to dive to his right. And I'm saying, oh, please, just repeat your habits, Biggie. He slotted it, and he did go that way. So that was it.
That in itself is amazing. That your thought process, you're talking about defenders and goalies and their habits. That is probably what is the start of setting you different to everybody else, I'd imagine. Because a lot of young players just play and they don't think about it.
That's not my problem. Surely my problem from the manager, but you try to tell them about it.
Aye.
Like for me, it was you're educating yourself. You couldn't do it when you were at school, but so you did it when you were on the football pitch. And Big Peter, he did that, and I thought, thanks very much, Biggie.
How big was that? How big did you feel that goal was for you? Or did you?
I think it could have been instrumental in what happened to you the rest of your career. Or it certainly plays a part, because if you miss it, I wouldn't have shriveled up, but I wouldn't have been happy. And it went almost full circle. The last game we played was a cup final against Rangers at Hampden, and it was a cup final. We get a penalty. I'm the captain. I'm doing to take the penalty. Andy Lynch comes running up to me. He says, "I'll take it." I went, "On you go." But he shouldn't have asked. He shouldn't have come up. Should he? Because all of a sudden you've got it in your mind. So he said, "Well, here, on you go." So, by the way, it bobbled in. But it went in. And that was us 1-0. So, I mean, it's the success that you get in the football, you all know it. Some of the decisions you make are right. And if you get more right than wrong, you've got a wee chance. And you're going to enjoy it. But you're not going to get every one in them right. You can't, it's an impossibility.
What did, when you started winning leagues, cups, what did that mean for you with Celtic?
Oh, that's what you're there for. Isn't it? I mean, you know, doesn't it? We got a good breeding. We started winning them in the reserves. So, I mean, we had a great reserve team. And played Rangers again. There was 3 games we played them. We beat them at the end of the season for the Resies. There was a League Cup final. We beat them 4 and then 6 or something at Ibrox. And then we beat them 7 in the other game. With the league game to play them as well. So we were up and running. But the sad thing was, I was still living at Ibrox at the time, and some of the boys, we used to play in behind the houses, there was a pitch. We used to play there, and one of the boys that played there, Gus McCallum, who played with Rangers, he was playing against us. And he was a wee bit upset when we beat him, but you feel a bit of sympathy for them. It's somebody you know.
How important was that team? You say there in the reserves, like you're understanding each other. You then progress through to the first team, and then just kick on from there.
I missed the first bit, but
that reserve football, when you're winning things, as you say there, you had it, the reserves, but then you're able to, there's 4 or 5 years come through, and you kick on together, and then go on and dominate.
Well, because we all trained together, not just the kids, but the Lions as well. It was, you were used to training as a group, and you're used to training with first team players. Not that we deserved it, but that's what we did. That's how we were brought up, and that was a reflection on the success that Celtic had at the time. That they could play the youngsters, and the leagues were bigger. So my debut was Wraith Rovers. I mean, with all due respect to Wraith Rovers, I don't think it'll be a while before they're back in the Premier League, won't it, really? Yeah. So, played against them, and they could put you in for games like that. So, the first game we won 7-0. But for us, the huge help to the kids that were playing was the attitude, and grateful you were to the Lions, because they really encouraged you, and the manager encouraged you. And the first time I played in the first team was a second leg match against Hamilton Accies. They were 10-0 up for the first game. And then it was 4-0 at half time. And I think it was only one sub, and I was sub. And I went, on you go. I said, you're not taking a chance. 14-0 up.
But you look at your Celtic career overall, I mean, the amount of goals you scored, 4 league titles, 4 Scottish Cups, 1 League Cup, fantastic. And then at 26 you decide, I mean, it's no young, but it's no old anyway, in today's terms, but you then decide to take that move down south. How did that come about?
Well, I don't think for me it would have happened if it hadn't been for Celtic. And the way they looked after us, the way I was taught and trained and coached, and the opportunities that they gave us. So I wasn't pushing 2 fingers up at Celtic. I was just looking at it upon myself that, look, this isn't a rehearsal. You get one go at it. What do you want to do? Do you want to stay here? You know you're going to win things. Or do you want to go somewhere else to see if you're good enough? And if you're not good enough, somebody will bring you back up to Scotland maybe. So I said, look, I said to Big Joe, I said, look, it's no a rehearsal, right? And I hope you don't think I'm ungrateful for everything that's been done for me here. I said, I would want to go. And I was wanting to go 2 years before it. But Big Joe got in a car crash and almost killed himself. So I went in, Sean was taking over, Sean Fallon. I said, Sean, forget that. Right, it's no fair. For what he's done for me, right, I would feel rotten if I left and showed any signs that I wasn't grateful for what he'd done for me. I says, I'll stay here.
Was there any other teams interested in Liverpool? Or was it just, you had your heart set on Liverpool?
When 77, I said, Big Joke says, oh, it's a contract. I says, no, I don't want one. He's back up and running then, 2 years later. So I said, I want to go.
And how did he take that?
Not very well. He says, you have to sign a contract. I said, I don't have to sign a contract. He said, they've got to notify the SFA, right? If there's players' contracts up and they're no signed and you want them to stay. And I'm saying, I'm not sure about this. I says, all right. I said, so just gives a bit of paper. So I signed it. We went away, won the league, won the cup. I went back in. I said, boss, I still want to go. He says, you can't, you've signed it.
Signed a 5-year contract.
And by the way, I must have been on Brave Juice or something to go to even say it. And he said, you've done it? He said, I said, no, you know why I signed it. And I know why I signed it. I said, because I didn't want to take it out in the papers. We were going for a double. I said, I didn't want to tarnish it in any way, shape or form. He says, all right. And then they were going to Australia, and we just been South America with Scotland. No, I went, I'm not going to Australia. He says, right. He says, your career's just taking a backward step. I went, okay. So I was up in the house, and they went to Australia. They came back with a game at Dunfermline. And we're in the dressing room, and he said, here, Danny, you take them out. Because I was captain. He said, Danny, you take them out. And you know what like a dressing room is. Oh, where are you going? I don't know where I'm going. I never knew a thing. Came back, went to Uncle Pat, Marina's dad, right, he had the pub, went to the pub on the way home. Phone goes in the pub. And he used to call me the joiner. He says, Joiner, he says, there's a phone call for you. Fuck, who's this? Hello? Right, you still want to go? I went, aye, boss. Get yourself up here. And he said the same thing he told me when I was going to make my debut. Don't tell anybody. I says, all right, went up, 5 minutes. Done, dusted, medical the next day. So I go home, and there was a photographer well, no, Eric Craig used to work with the record and everything. He's at the house when I come home. It's 11 o'clock at night or something. I went, all right, Eric. And then Big Joke picked us up in the morning and took us to Moffat to drop us off to meet
Liverpool.
And he gets out the motor and he says, all right, he says, all the best, you wee bee, right? Gave us a cuddle. I said, but I wasn't angry. It wasn't angry.
How does it feel being the man to replace Kevin Keegan in a Liverpool squad that is excellent, winning trophies? When we're talking about you believing you're good enough, at this point, are you going, I am ready for this? Or is that a case of how you felt in the past?
I'd been at Liverpool when I was 15 and they'd wanted to sign us when I came back up the road. Shankly and Ruben Bennett, Scottish fella as well. They were brilliant. They came back up and they wanted to say, I said, well, it's a wee bit far, isn't it, for Glasgow? So, but I saw it when I was 15 and when I went at 26, just the same. Real camaraderie, very similar to Celtic Park, and I thought, this. After when I came back at 15 and then went to Celtic, I could relate to Celtic and why they were so successful, because it was very similar to Liverpool. So if I had a choice of anywhere to go, that would have been mine. And when I'm 26, but so that's when it came about. They came in, and they need to think twice.
How? Oh, sorry, go.
Was it just a seamless transition then to in terms of playing into the team and sort of finding your feet straight away?
Oh, listen, Kevin, I'm not saying anything about Kevin. Kevin decided to go. That's fine. There was an opening there. They wanted me to fill it. Well, I mean, I'm not going to go and try and emulate Kevin Keegan. Why?
Did you feel any pressure though?
Looking back for now, no. But probably at the time, I'd probably diarrhea, but but it's no. I wasn't trying to emulate Kevin. Kevin did what he did, and he did it really well. He was hugely successful. Then it was my turn. So if I was going to try and copy somebody else, I wouldn't have been there in the first place. So just be yourself.
But I think, see, if you go back to that period there, like Kevin Keegan was the English poster boy. He was a main man. Like, did you feel even the Liverpool fans like this ain't going to be the same when Kevin Keegan leaves?
I don't know. They never get much chance really to get across to it, because I went on the Tuesday. I went down in the Thursday morning, played on the Friday in the Charity Shield. I played on the Saturday in the Charity Shield. Then the first game of the season was Middlesbrough away. So I scored in my debut.
Yeah.
And then the Tuesday night we played Newcastle at Anfield, and I scored at the Cop. So it was after a good start.
Did you notice that? So there's not a comparison now to Scottish football with the Premiership in England. What was the gap like from when you moved from Celtic to Liverpool in the opposition? Was it a big jump?
Well, I think it's always has been a step up, right? And step up in what? It's only a step up if you're in a bad team, innit? But they weren't a bad team.
Yeah.
So you were getting in at a level that you were used to.
Celtic
were a great team. Liverpool were a great team. I think there's always, that's why it's called the league table, innit? There's different levels. So if you're getting into the top level, that's fine. But when they play each other, I mean, before we left, we played Liverpool and when we were at Celtic, some game, and Big Jock was trying some tactics. So he put us in as what do they call it now, a false number 9. By the way, it was false. I never got a kick. And Liverpool were just passing it about at the back, and I went, I'm not chasing that all day. couldn't get a kick. So both clubs were fantastic. And as I say, I'm really, really fortunate in the career that I had, that Celtic were a hugely successful team and have remained so, and Liverpool the same. They're two of the most successful teams in Britain, so two of the greatest managers in Britain. You know, Big Jock and old Bob Paisley won everything except the pools, I think. So I was in amongst the best group of players, but also the background stuff. So it's it doesn't need to be Einstein to make the right decision, does it?
Yeah.
And what about playing up top with Ian Rush? You had such a incredible partnership. Did that gel sort of straight away?
Well, once we got it through Rushy, aye. Once we got it through, no, he was brilliant. He had attributes that I never had, right? So it's better to play to his strengths than it is to his weaknesses. And he was, by the way, just said to him, if I've got it and I'm looking forward, just pull away a wee bit and just leave me somewhere to pass it into. I says, and you'll get on it. And that's simple and straightforward. He was sharp. His movement was brilliant.
Some finisher.
Oh, we used to call him Tosh because he was hopeless in the air, right? And that was John Toshak.
Toshak, yeah.
Aye. But then he started scoring with his head as well. So we didn't have a name for him. No, but I think for him, he came in when the evolution was there, wasn't it? I mean, we went into Celtic and the Lisbon Lions were fading away. We came in, and then the success that the Liverpool first team had, they were making changes, like Kevin gone and myself coming in, and there was lots of other people coming in, people going out, and he was one of the changes, and he was in the dressing room, and like, you know yourselves how important the dressing room is, and I think the best dressing rooms are the ones with the camaraderie in it, and a bit of banter, and no big timers. Just doesn't matter how good you are. It's a laugh and a joke until it comes to the match, and then you're in and you're all about. And to be fortunate, it might have gone a wee bit too far with Rushy, because he went in and said to Bob Paisley, I want to go. And Bob went, aye, all right, and just left him.
Who was the ones when you moved in at first? Like, because we all hear about, you know, the upheaval of moving away and about who in that dressing room. I know you said straight into games now, but who helped you the most settle?
The boys were really helpful. When you went down, it wasn't like nowadays. They've all got somebody who works right at the club, taking you around about hussies and all the rest of it. Well, we never had that. We had the boys would take you around.
Mm-hmm.
So they say, oh, what do you fancy? We're in the middle of town in the Holiday Inn. So what do you fancy living? I don't know. How do you know where what it is? And they would pick you up and take you around and come in for a cup of tea. And so it really helps you relax. And I think that's important for boys coming down. Boys coming from somewhere else into a new place. The boy will settle in the dressing room because you get a bit of banter and a laugh and a joke. That calms him down, settles. Yeah. But what does a woman do? She's in amongst strangers, so she needs something. So get the women on their side as well. And it was when we got to cup finals, Marina used to organise the ladies' night out on the Friday night. So everybody felt part and parcel of it. And there was a great relationship between the boys.
You had a good little Scottish contingent there.
I told Nico came. Jesus. Well, Big Hanson was in first. He came in end of season, April 77. I came in August 77. We get beat with Chelsea 4-2 in the Cup. In January 78. They signed Souness just after that. And then Nico came in. Oh. We thought we had the dressing room pretty convinced that Jocks was the most superior race. And then Nickel came in and that was us. Back to square one. But by the way, what a good player.
Yeah.
What a good player, by the way. He could play, just give him a ball and a number. Go and play. I mean, he scored a hat-trick at Newcastle. Beat them one, and he was playing wide right. He wasn't too sharp, but great for like in and around the dressing room. It was brilliant.
And I mean, you're phenomenal as a player at Liverpool, and then you became player manager. How did that sort of materialise?
Well, I just signed for 4 years as a player, and near the end of the first season, I got a phone call. They wanted to come to the house and have a word with us, the chief executive and the chairman. And I went, well, no problem. He says, I said, when do you want to come? He said, Sunday or something. I went, oh, all right. He says, don't you want to know why we want to come? I went, no, you want to tell me, tell me. It's not up to me to ask, is it? Really? I never thought so anyway. So he says, we want to offer you the manager's job. I says, you can still come. Put the phone down. And I said to Marina, you've just been on the phone there. There wasn't any mobiles. I said, they've just been on the phone. He said, before. I said, they want to offer me the manager's job. She went, why? I said, I don't know. I said, I was doing all right as well in the games.
So, is that on your radar at all, coaching, when you finish?
You're not even thought about it.
I didn't want coaching. So I phoned up my dad. I said, what do you think? He went, well, why don't you? He said, if I've asked you, they must think you'd be okay. I went, oh, all right. So I phoned up Uncle Pat, Marina's dad. I went, he went, and he said the same thing. I don't know if the two of them had changed, phoned over each other. And I went, oh, all right. So that was it. They said they want to offer you the job, and I still don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why. And that was it.
What was your, so when they offer you the job, what was your sort of thought process then? Where did you feel like you were, because it's totally different being a player to a manager, of course. Was there any sort of doubt with that? Or, you say yes, but think, blimey, this is a different skill set, isn't it?
I know, I said yes, but if I'm garbage, I'm going back to being a player. That's the first thing I said to them. I've got a 4-year contract must have been 3 left. I said, I want to go back. I'll go back to playing then. But the staff, I mean, Bob Paisley was upstairs, and I mean, no upstairs and standing at the club. He had an office upstairs. So the manager's office is doing it dressing room level. So I'm in there. There was Ronnie Moran and Roy Evans, 2 coaches. I mean, I didn't need to do anything other than just turn up. And then there was another boy, an old boy. They wouldn't know him, but he was the first youth development officer in England, I think. And he started at Liverpool. He was a headmaster, but no, a good headmaster, right? Good lad. And I said, Tom, you bring your desk into my office. So, I mean, you're surrounded. If somebody phoned me up and asked anything, I'd just go, hold on, I will get back to you. Put the phone down. So I speak to old Bob, right? Or you go to Tom Saunders. And I wasn't shy and gone to him. And, I mean, Bob said to me, I said, Bob, in the summer, I said, what am I doing in here, Bob? And he went, oh, you got to be here, the phone might ring. I said, Bob, I've got a phone in the house. Can they not ring the house? I said, what am I in here for? Oh, no, you've got to be here. And then he'd come up when it started. Kenny, do you mind if I've a word with so-and-so? One of the boys before the game. I said, Bob, you can have a word with anybody you want. I said, it's no a problem. Just, you don't need to keep asking me. I know whose side you're on. I said, go. He says, no, I need to ask. And I mean, but compared to him, you're a non-entity, right? No, because what he won at the club was unbelievable. And he's this idiot that's the manager now. He's got the wherewithal, everything else, to come and address me first because he respects the position, I would have thought, more than the person. Or
but the way you've dealt with that,
if it's a bit of both, that's fine. You just have to do it.
The way you dealt with it, though, is a skill in itself. Your people skills in that, to just let them go and do it and give them the trust, is a skill in itself to get the best out of your staff. If you look at it nowadays,
he's not going to do anything that's not in our interest. He's not going to do anything. It's trust.
Yeah.
Right? Ronnie Moran, they used to keep a book, right? Like that. A book like that for every single day training. Who trained, who never trained, what their injuries were, what they ate, everything. The whole lot was marked in there in the book. And there's no technology then, is there?
No.
But they had that, by the way. Unbelievable. So that was, I went in as manager and yeah, you've got to pick a team.
Does that become cut hard when you're playing as well?
No, I stopped playing. And they kept saying, play. I said, can I play? I said, what? And by the way, that was the hardest thing ever. The dressing room. I come out, obviously, you've got to come out of the dressing room. And you'd walk in, it'd be buzzing, and then it'd go, psh, as soon as you walk in. I suppose, in a strange way, that's a bit of respect.
Yeah.
But then, I know roughly what they're talking about. So I just used to say, right, finish your story. Right, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Right? Because you know there's something going on. Right? And if you just cut it, you're going to spoil it.
I know, see that moment in time you've been asked to be the manager, right, I'm going to go for it. Looking back now, do you have regrets at taking it that you didn't play longer and you decided to take up that manager role?
Eventually I had to go back in.
Yeah.
We got injuries, so went back in. But listen, you might have got nothing if you'd have stayed on. And look at the people you have surrounding you. The people upstairs, it's not like you have nowadays. There's no director of football, right? There's them upstairs with the money and you downstairs with the team. And the two, they would come and say to me, Kenny, got some money, right, do you want to buy anybody? Right, have a look. And the guy who was chief scout, which I think is similar to that, like the directorship, or director of football role, except he didn't negotiate the wages. But the boy retired, so we've got a chief scout position up. I said, get Big Ron Yates. I said, I don't know if he's any good. You don't know if he's any good. I said, but he's the next Liverpool captain, and he'll be right on our side. So Big Yates, he comes in. He'd never done a job before like that. He's got piles like that of people. By the way, he's weren't on it. People like that. And it was brilliant. And it was just a great atmosphere for everybody to go and work and experience.
How did you manage that though? Like, you know, like you say, you had that period out of the team and you ended up playing till you were 39. So how did you keep your fitness that when you came back in, you were still at a level to go and perform in the team?
Yeah, but every time I left myself out, I had a word with the manager.
Looked yourself in the mirror. If we're going to win games, I need to play.
No. If you want to lose games, put me in. And eventually I had to go in because the boy got injured, Paul Walsh, and he scored about 18 or 19 goals to Christmas. And then they're saying, well, put yourself sub. I said, well, if I'm sub, you're still getting caught up in the game on the dugout.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not really, you just expanding the area, but you're not doing it like running, but you're still getting drained a wee bit, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So we went back when the wee Walshy get injured, and that was it. Finished with the double. That was us up and running. The next year we get nothing.
How did you deal with the? I mean, listen, I've never been in it. I don't like. But everybody says management is stressful. So how did you deal with being able to deal with that, but then also play as well? I mean, it's unthinkable nowadays. But it was the in thing, back in the day. You did have a lot of player managers.
No, you don't know if you'll get any more. You look at the staff who you've got. Ronnie Moran, Roy Evans.
Mm-hmm.
Their positions were perfect. They weren't going anywhere. They didn't want to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Although two of them ended up at some stage later on being a manager for a wee while. They'd never had that in their mind when the manager was in. Oh, Bob, he retired, so allegedly he was upstairs. And Tom Saunders, he had no idea that he wanted to be there. He wanted to be helping. He used to take me to watch the matches and taught me how to watch a player rather than watch a match. So they were all coming for the same starting blocks. They were all there to be of help. And that's all you can get. For me, I just did it because I thought it was right. But I would still watch the matches on the videos to see who we were playing. Mm-hmm. So I looked at the goalkeepers to see what they did, because that's what I was playing if I was going to play. And then when I came back, it was just exactly the same. I had to play. Still looked at the goalies.
You're still going
and
at
then,
39? You're still going at 39?
That was my last game. That was what.
Still?
We'd won the league. And I did make myself sub that night. We'd won the league. And we were at Anfield and it was 0-0 and there was a wee bit, to be fair, I thought we were a wee bit arrogant when I'm
raging.
I'm going on. Right. So I went on, wiped the guy out. And I said, come on. Big Gary scored the winner. Gary Gillespie. So that was the last game, I think.
Yeah, but then you decided to go to Blackburn. We'll touch on this man.
Oh, plump his feathers up a bit.
We'll touch on him later, but Blackburn, how does that come about?
I'd left Liverpool and I was unemployed, and I got a phone call and I'm reading the papers about Blackburn and the ref is in Sudan, like all these. Stevie Archibald was a mention as well. It was, but he was top drawer at that time, and I'm going, and I'm looking at the league table. I'm saying, how can they go for them? They were signing Bolton or something. It was Donald Mackay, the guy's name, the Scottish fella, was a manager, and eventually they get beat with a lower division team in the League Cup. So he got his P45. They put old Tony Parks in. He was a brilliant fella, right? In with to look after it. And they asked me if I fancied the job. I said, Blackburn. I'm not being arrogant, but how do you know Blackburn? I mean, they're talking about some guy putting a load of money in. So I said to the fella, I said, go and check out that this is true. So Uncle Jack, he was brilliant, right? And I went, oh well, if he's like that and he's prepared to go and he's genuine, I'll have a go for him. So that was us. We were up and running. Went there and
you got them up.
How much did the squad need work when you go in there?
You got them up, didn't you?
They were started second bottom, and the first game, we played Plymouth. I wasn't there. I only got the job on the Friday or the Saturday. So I went to just sit in the stand with the Rain Man, and Tony Parks was in charge. They beat Plymouth at home 5-something. And I went, what do they need me for? 5. So, and by the way, I mean, you know, that was a great place. So the people were so genuine, horizontal, and no, they were. And then when you get it first, I mean, for what Jack did for it to get it up and running, and kept it running, it was unbelievable. And the players were coming in, and so we're getting in. I think the first signing was Alan Wright for Blackpool, and that's the start of it. But these boys are sitting, they're not looking. I mean, when Shearer comes in, right, these boys have never played with anybody. The team never cost 3 million, right? But they never. The wee boys are going, oh. And we got a few youngsters in as well. Damien Duff came
What a
for.
player. What a player.
We got him in for Ireland. Getting a bit of support for the ones behind.
Got Shay Given.
She Given.
Yeah.
She Given's old man. Said, my son will get 100 caps for Ireland. I said, look, I just want him to get a game for Blackburn. And he came for Celtic to us. And he was, by the way, behind the scenes there was a lot going on as well for the younger players. But it was just unreal. And he comes, and everything he says he would do, he did with his money. Built the place up.
What was the recruitment? Were you doing all of that? Signing all the players?
Yeah.
I
can't see, even now in this day and age, you understand the fabric of the thing. You've got, the club will decide what money's there. Somebody will pick the players or scout the players. But the manager, in my opinion, is going to make a decision. Right? And if I make a decision and we're struggling, then there's your P45. You still got somebody out there, a scout, filling in. You get reports, you read the reports, you watch your videos. You never see a manager, or very seldom do you see a manager for England going to the match, other than an English team manager. You don't see them. You go. There's a match on the other day. Stevie Clark was there
yesterday.
Aye. So, Tynecastle. They'll go and watch a game. Moisey would normally go and watch games, but you don't get too many go and watch a game. I don't know if I did sign anybody, and if I did, it wouldn't have been. It would have been because we were in a rush and we couldn't get in. But I went to watch them.
Were you in the rush?
Did you go to watch this big man here?
My telly broke down.
Record signing. What made you?
Daily record. But you have to go. I think you have to go and watch them.
Yeah.
And then if you get the sack, well, you deserve to get the sack, don't you?
You made a decision.
Can you remember going and watching Sutty?
I never went. Norwich, jeez,
Too far.
I remember playing at centre half when you beat us 7-1. Can you? You remember? Well, you probably wouldn't remember.
Norwich were top of the league.
Yeah,
top of the league. He came to Blackburn. We beat them 7.
Well, you were centre back.
Yeah.
Shearer scored. By the way,
Roy Wegley.
Roy Wegley. Newley would have been. Newley no play, no. Mike Newell.
I think Wegley played in that one. I think Newley was there. Gordon Cowans, Tim, yeah.
And Price at right back.
Yeah,
he came for Villa as well.
Yeah.
Mark, I tell you, he was a good player. Atkins in the middle of the pitch.
Okay.
But Shearer went through. Brian Gunn was in goal. And Shearer's done that. Chipped him, didn't he?
Did the scoop, yeah.
I went, oh. But not at that time.
I know, but what a player. So then how did it come about, this man?
I was on holiday. I was in Mallorca. No, we were after him. And Ray was at training. I don't know why I was in Mallorca for a wedding or something. It wasn't mine, it was somebody else's. And he phoned his feet up when I was in Mallorca. He said, deal's done, agreed, done. It's all coming up. And then when he came up, he wanted to be a centre half. And by the way, we just put 7 past him. Right? And he got his chance. He got one chance to play centre back. Arsenal win it.
Yeah.
Somebody got injured, and he's giving all that to righty. Come on, right? And we got a draw, I think. Or did we win 1-0? We got a draw at least. Yeah. Centre back.
So had you signed him as a centre back?
No.
No, but I wish I had have. No.
How good was that partnership though?
Oh, it was brilliant. And also, it's like Jason and Ripley.
Stuart Ripley. Yeah.
Oh,
Jason Wilcox.
Aye. They filled it up, wasn't it? And they, to be fair, no, I would exempt Shearer for it, but the boys that came in, right, they were a wee bit naive, a lot of them, coming into Blackburn. They were a wee bit naive, and we got slippery.
Tim Sherwood, yeah. He signed before me. You signed him when
he did,
you were.
Yeah, but he was lucky.
Yeah, he was a good player, Tim.
He was lucky. He was nearly getting bombed because he left us to go and speak to Derby.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I phoned up his wee agent. I said, by the way, forget it. No. I said, forget it. Right? I said, you're at Derby after being at our place on Friday. I said, I thought he was going back down south. I mean, it is south of Blackburn, but no that. No. Just pulled in and away by. So he said, no. I said, right. I said, well, so I knew what I was doing, and I knew Ray was close with the wee Cockney agent. So I said, look, there's no problem. Right, we're just playing hardball. When he phones you, because he's certain to phone Ray. I said, tell him. Right. And he went, oh no. So they phoned me back, and I went, well, I'll tell you. I said, last thing. I said, I'm going into training Monday morning. I'll ask Tony, Ray, or somebody else was there. Beazer, who's the best? Right? Is he better than what we've got? Or can we do without him? I knew the answer. We had the answer before that.
Yeah.
So he went, no. He says, oh, no. So I said, phone me back then. Went to say, phone back. He says, you're lucky. I said, because the boys have said, we need him. I said, I don't need him. I says, no, I'm a monster. I says, you can bring him up here then. You're getting nothing. Oh, I'm a monster smuck. I says, I know you. I said, but just bring the guy up. So Slippery came up. Oh, he was, and by the way, he was brilliant, wasn't he? No, just for them.
Yeah.
Wee bit worldly.
He was quite young as a captain as well.
He
wasn't
was,
he?
aye.
Yeah, but he's always. I used to clean his boots at Norwich, Tim, and then when he moved to Blackburn, and it didn't quite happen for him at Norwich, but he was always an intelligent player. Always, he could play a load of positions.
He's streetwise as well.
Yeah.
And that's a bit. I think that's a lot to do with it. Streetwise, and then he gives it all that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Were you?
He can handle
were
himself.
You at Wimbledon when we played them at Crystal Palace?
Yes, yeah.
When he got. And they were starting to circle round him.
Yeah. I did have a few. Yeah.
Oh,
how was the King as a manager then?
But no, brilliant. I mean, you were always. I mean, I was in awe of you as a player first and foremost, and then coming up, and I knew what I was coming into. I mean, the season before you'd run Manchester United pretty close, so and sort of. I mean, I'd have been 21 when I signed, and I think I was nervous coming into it because I was always a sort of a Norwich boy, but then coming up and the club, going into the club, I mean, as always, my early memories were feeling really at home and everybody making me feel welcome.
Yeah, because they'd all been doing almost the same path, right? They're coming in, right, and they're thinking, what's this going to be like? Is it going to be over the top? But it wasn't. It was so humble and humane. It wasn't true, and that's when you come at the beginning. If we sign somebody for 500 grand or 300 grand, they would be like, oh Jesus, right at the beginning, and then it started to build up, and they got used to it. And the people that were brought in were normal. They could have cost 300 grand. You wouldn't know. They could have cost 15 million. It didn't matter.
See,
the dressing room was brilliant.
Yeah,
and the most important one was Shearer's attitude in the dressing room. He comes into training early doors, and you weren't there. I mean, they're picking up all the training gear on the floor.
Even
and he said, "What's that? What are you doing?" He said, "Oh no, you've got to take them home and get them washed."
But when I first
walks into the house, he says, his missus went, "What's that?" He says, "Why do we need to wash it?" Oh, Jesus.
But when I first arrived, and everybody was talking about Blackburn spending money that particular time, we used to train at Pleasanton, just the park, they cleaned the dogs' mess up before training. I mean, it's amazing, really, when win the Premier League.
Yeah, it's crazy though. But I was going to ask you, see the recruitment thing, because when you look at it and you were like, would you say they're 21, 22 when you arrived? A lot of the signings were like younger ones who were still trying to prove themselves, but there is no doubt that because you'd run Manchester United close the season before, you must have felt those signings were good enough to then win you the league.
Well, we weren't bringing them in to be ornaments, were we?
No, but I mean, in terms of, a lot of people were fighting with go and get like older, experienced players to try and get you over the line, but a lot of your signings were younger boys.
Yeah, you just picked what was. I didn't look at the age, but you just picked the ones that you thought was going to serve you best. But there's no point in bringing like a Sutty and Shearer to be up front if you've not got somebody that can feed them. What's the point?
Yeah.
So there were two boys. I mean, Stuart Ripley was
good player.
No, but really intelligent, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Football intelligence.
So you're comparing him to.
No, but he went away and he got A-level French or something, didn't he?
He's a lawyer now.
He studied it,
Yeah.
So we're on the pitch. The rain man was brilliant. Ray Harford, the coach, he was brilliant, right? And the boys loved him, right? And they could have a laugh and a chuckle and stuff. And we've got I said today, set them up. So we get Stuart Ripley. So just here, right? There's 40 yards we go. So you've got two boys in the middle. Where do you want to hit it? He went blank. I says, "Hey, Deef." He says, "What?" I says, "Where do you want to hit it?" I says, "Tell me." He went, "Are you taking the pin?" I went, "No." I said, "Look, you're here on the right, you're 10, 20 yards off the touchline. You're 30, 40 yards for goal. They're in the middle. Where do you want them? Do you want them there, and where? How far will you hit it?" I said, your teams are going to back off. We've got to get the boys in the position where you can reach. No point putting them up there and you can't reach them.
Yeah.
He went, "Oh."
What did it mean for you to lift that Premier League trophy for Blackburn, but at Anfield as well?
Well, I think we were a wee bit unlucky really to lose that game.
Yeah.
Because I think Shearer hit one out of bar for about 6 yards, didn't he?
I missed
At the
a
Kop.
good. I missed a good chance in that game.
I thought that would come up.
That's very kind. But we just got to say that this before we get on to that, we wavered, didn't we? I think we were 9 clear with 6 games to go, and that's when I thought we really needed you as players, because I thought we were quite a young.
They were,
I don't know. Nobody had won a title before, and that's when I think we did look to you at the end. We had the Newcastle game where we were jammy as hell before, where Tim Flowers made all the saves. But that was where I think you got us over the line. Really, that was such a big.
But
game.
doing what?
Just in the. I thought I'd speak for myself. Players sort of just doubting themselves. When you start to waver, Manchester United they'd always score late, wouldn't they? They'd always get an injury time goal and what have you. But no, none of us have been the course and the distance. So you're looking for a sort of, not a steady hand isn't the right word, but somebody who's sort of steadfast in their belief that we can still do it. So
what are you thinking at that point? When they're scoring late goals and that points.
We'd always had the league won about 4 or 5 games to go before that. Hadn't been in
It was uncharted territory for you as well. Gaffer, what are we doing? I don't know.
But it was, you could see the anxiety in them.
Yeah, that's right.
And the tiredness. Yeah. Right? Now I don't know whether they were physically or mentally tired. But then we get the first goal, we're up and running. But I don't think there was a Liverpool supporter in that ground that didn't want us to win. Mm-hmm. But it never came down to that like West Ham game, really. We were really unlucky at Old Trafford when Sherwood get the goal chopped off.
And the game at Ewood Park, we won up and
and then
Henningberg got a terrible sending off. Yeah.
Aye. So I think somebody was looking after us, and that was us. But it's not just the one game, is it? And they say they lost it at West Ham. Yeah, you lost it. But by the way, how many other games did you lose?
Mm. Yeah, over the course and distance of the season.
Aye.
But what did it mean for you at Anfield?
Well, if you're going to win it somewhere else other than your home ground, but for me, that'd have been my choice. I mean, it might be quite nice to win it at one of the rivals as well.
True.
It doesn't matter where you win it. The ground isn't important. It's the people that you're in it with. And by the way, the after party was even better.
Was it Preston, wasn't it? Was it? Yeah. Yeah.
The drifters were on. Weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
And we walked up the boy, it's a place, Bistro French it was called.
That's it, yeah.
Right? So you used to go, and it was brilliant. They had, the boys used to have the Christmas party there. And they had groups on, like lookalikes. And these people that were on the night we went were the drifters. So I phoned the guy up after the game. The boys are all going, phone in. Oh, Ian. I went, Ian. He went, Kenny, I heard you the first time. He said, I've been sitting here praying that I was going to get this phone call. I said, is it all right for us to come? And they've sold out, the drifters. He went, Kenny, bring as many as you want. I said, you mustn't have. He said, never mind, just bring as many as you want. So, there was mums, dads, granddads, everything. Yeah. The whole lot is piled in.
Fantastic achievement, though.
Oh, the party. Aye.
Get into the place.
We get in, he takes us upstairs. There's a wee guy sitting having a bit something to eat, and he looked, and he went, these are the last people I wanted to see. The wee boy was the drifters. And he's a Man U fan.
You eventually become the director of football. How does that happen? Why do you change for management?
Well, I'd done enough. And Ray I think Ray might have been getting restless a wee bit as well. For me, I said, look, it's all right. We've done what we set out today. If you want to give Ray a go next year, give Ray a go. See how he gets on. Because I think he was no nastily or just hopeful. And I don't know why he couldn't do a job as a manager. He'd had a go a couple of other places and it never worked. Because he was brilliant at coaching, wasn't he? He was brilliant. He was, really down to the level with the boys. The boys trusted him, liked him, believed him. And I thought, he must be. I mean, the difference is only picking a team. And so I said, I've had enough. And then we'd done a few games and I went off. No, see you later.
And then there was rumours you became, what was it, international scout for Rangers? Was there potential a director of football, or was that just something that was in the paper?
No, one game. I went to watch one game. What?
Is that what it was, no?
What?
Is that what, well, that's just
for one game?
One game?
I don't even know who was playing.
What was the story then?
Into Milan it was. Playing the Norwegian team.
Rosenborg.
Aye. I think Rosenborg won,
Yeah.
I left about half an hour to go.
Who asked you to go do that?
Well, as soon as it was that before he came? Because Walter was there.
Walter would have been there.
Aye. Let's just do Walter a favour. He's a good guy, Walter. Done him a favour.
What about Newcastle?
Nope.
You went to Newcastle?
Aye. Well, I don't know why Kevin left. But it was his decision. I think they'd just beaten Tottenham 6 or 7. And I don't know whether there was some empathy for Jerry Francis, but I mean, how many times you get a job with a team that's in the top 4?
No.
So they said, would you be interested? I says, well, I'll have a chat with you. I had a chat and what a place that was as well. It was brilliant. So obviously they were used to Kevin and how he wanted to play and everything else. So there was a wee bit of change to go. But I think we were 4th when we went there. And we finished 2nd. So we'll go to qualify to get to the Champions League. And we beat Red Star Belgrade or some one of them. No, it wasn't Red Star. We beat somebody anyway to get through to Champions League. So that was we were up and running. We got to the cup final that year. Get beat. So I wouldn't say it was hugely successful, but it wasn't a disaster either.
Did you feel as if then, when you look at that Blackburn team and that Newcastle team, Newcastle were up top, do you feel as if you could have been the man to deliver a title for them?
For who?
Newcastle.
I don't know, but the punters had seen Kevin do a great job there, and attack, and and Shearer went out. Shearer done his knee.
Yeah.
He done his knee pre-season at Goodison. There was a tournament on. We played, and he done his knee.
Then there was a return to Celtic, director of football, 99, was that?
Aye.
Alongside John Barnes.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, the guy phoned us up, says, would you come? I said, I'm not going to be manager.
Why?
I just
For this
ran my course.
Aye.
So he says, would you be the director of football, whatever they want to call it? I says, look, I'll come in and help. That's all. And then they got John in.
So did you not have any part in that, in terms of selecting a manager?
Well, they asked me to make recommendations, and that was one I made. So I never get involved in the interviews or anything. That was for them. And I'm not trying to dodge. And I went in. Digger had the second best start of any Celtic manager at that time for the start of the season. They went to Aberdeen, first game, won 5-0. And I didn't know when to help him. Right? I could maybe have helped him, and maybe I should have helped him, and then I'm saying I don't want to show up in front of the boys, like let John's go to stand.
Undermine them, basically.
I didn't want to feel as if I was trying to do it, because I never, and I think that was my mistake. It was my fault.
He could have asked you for help, I suppose, but then there's that element of he
wants to show that he's ready. Aye.
Well, I don't know, but some of them in there look in the mirror, and it was, by the way, they were disgraceful.
Players?
Yep. They were disgraceful.
Just in that self-preservation.
Well, there's an example. The last game of the season, we're at home. I think it was Dundee United. And there's 8 or 9 boys making their debut.
Says it all, doesn't it? It's true. Do you think, though, like, obviously with the changer, like Fergus McCanley, it was a ton, like the club was just in, it was the right club maybe, but at the wrong time?
For John? Well, I think you'd have got Tranmere after that. For me, out of the players that you've worked with, I would have thought he would have a good chance. He picked up for Graham Taylor. He came to us, so he's been in England, right? He must have some experience and knowledge about the football. And I went pre-season, and the pre-season, it looked all right to me. It looked good enough to me. He wanted to play all the attacking players. That's why they get 5 against Aberdeen. So I would have thought there was a better than even money chance that he would be relatively successful.
You know, from your point of view, did you know coming back to Celtic, and you know, it obviously became difficult with you know, at the end for John Barnes. Was there any part of that where you know you really regretted it because of the way things went?
I didn't regret going back. I regretted no helping, maybe more than I could have, right? But I was trying to do it in John's best interests. When he left, I think they knew in that dressing room what they'd done. If they never did get told anyway, so then we won the League Cup, we beat Aberdeen. So, I mean, I might have been the manager, but it was mostly the work that John did that got us that far. So,
you had a Larson in the squad that breaks his leg. Did that have an impact?
That was in October.
And did you see him as good as what he turns out to be? Could you see that then?
Yeah. By the way, yeah, but it's unfair, really, to label it, stick it down to one person, innit? He came back in, and the last game when we're playing Dundee United at Celtic Park, and he's sitting sub, and he's saying, "Oh, the European Championships were on."
That's
Monday.
right, yeah.
And he came in the Friday, says, "Can I have her?" I went, "I know, just leave it with us, right?" I said, but on the Saturday, I said, "Listen, you're sub, right? Don't start burning me with your eyes. Don't go through the back of my head." I said, "I'm telling you." I says, "I know what you want, right? I know why you're sub. You know why you're sub, but don't start burning me and put me under pressure to put you on." So second half, I put him on, or a wee bit into the second half. And that got him into the Swedish squad. Well, never, he gets himself in, but just the fact he played the game, the guy said it'd be all right.
Inverness game, what about that one?
It was supposed to be the Saturday, right? And there's a La Manga's got the teams that shut for the winter, right? They've got a load of them going over for it must be February, was it? Round about, is that when John gets sacked?
It could have been well, there was a winter break in that at that time.
Right,
was there?
they have a break.
Maybe
then they go
in
back
between
their
a couple.
training.
Yeah.
They go back their training.
Yeah.
And I said, they're playing the Saturday. I says, I'll shoot over there and I'll have a look at, 4 or 5 teams out there. I says, it saves us going to 4 or 5 places.
Yeah.
And if there's any players, right, I'll give you the names and you can have a look yourself. But if I'll go there and do that, we'll be back for next week. So the game gets cancelled, didn't it? Because the roof tile's slack and it's blowing a gale. So I went, oh no. So anyway, I said, well, we'll still go. Inverness, Cali. So went over. My phone wasn't working. I've got the phone. I'm going, one? Oh, we've won. That's a one. Then I'm going, oh no, hold on a minute. We've no one. Virtual scored the goal for us. Wee Mark. So get a phone call. You need to come back. I says, I thought so. So I've go all the way back. Then no, it was sad. But I mean the players that are involved in it, all due respect to Inverness Cali, they shouldn't be getting beat with them. They shouldn't be getting beat.
Well, we've spoken about you as a player, Celtic, Liverpool, what you've done as a manager, but I know there's not a greater or more prouder Scotsman than yourself. What did it mean to represent your country?
When you're a wee boy growing up, you never saw much football on the telly. You know, it was Scotland, England normally. And Dennis was leaped like a salmon in the post and bang, caught for that against England. So to play for Scotland was every wee boy's dream. And I wasn't an exception to that. And it was, I think Tommy Docherty gave us my first outing, and that was up at Pittodrie. Came on in the second half, 46 minutes. I don't know why it says 46. Maybe 45. And that went on and beat, I think it was Belgium. We beat somebody anyway. 1-0. John O'Hare scored, I think. So that was it. And the Doc was brilliant as a manager. He never lasted long, mind you. Went to Man U after it, didn't he?
See, for them consistently making World Cups and major tournaments, how frustrated was it not to get out of the group and the small margins that you go in to get out of the groups, you lost out in small margins?
Well, one of the games we lost out in, I think it was the first one, Zaire. We beat them 2-0. Playing them first is a bad shout. No, it is. Because they're full of enthusiasm, aren't they? They're getting about the pitch. They want to make sure they don't get embarrassed too easily. The other two, Yugoslavia and Brazil. So we get 2 draws with Brazil and Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia are playing Zaire. I think it might have been the last game or whatever. The coach for Zaire, coincidentally, comes for Yugoslavia.
It's good though.
9-0.
That's so frustrating though. Surely you're sitting there scratching your head.
I'd been more embarrassed if we get beat 9-0.
Out of those 102 caps, the 30 goals, what, if you could pick one moment to relive again, what would it be?
When we beat Spain 3-1 at Hampden, Dave Cooper, bless him, I think he took the throw in or something. Then we're up at Celtic and turned the fella, went in the box and went in the top right-hand corner for the keeper, and I turned to like cheer at the crowd. My old man was sitting in the front row. I don't know how he got there because I never had day ticket. And the old man was there. And for me, that's... And then when my son Paul played for the 21s, he played at Airdrie, and I was in the box watching the game. And the wee man scored. I phoned up Marina. I couldn't talk. I honestly. And I'm saying, I'm on that. Got a wee idea now how your dad, right, must have felt. How proud he must have been. And I'm like, I mean, I can't even remember who they were playing. But he scored, and that was all that mattered. They won as well, I think. And I can't even speak
Some
to
boy
you.
Paul.
Some
boy Paul. He's always proud of that record you've got, hasn't he?
Aye,
102 caps, 30 goals, 3 European Cups. What a boy. But, somebody really well now as well, Andy Robertson, doing really well at Liverpool. You've got to say closing in on that record of your caps. Do you think you'll get there?
I think he should retire for international.
But you've got
it'd be nice if he would, wouldn't it?
It would be. What about the
I'll
manager?
let him have it.
The manager, obviously you worked with him at Liverpool. The success he's then had since becoming...
Well, he did brilliantly when he came back here to Kilmarnock.
Yeah.
Didn't he? He won, 2
30
years he was here.
2 years, I was with
2
him,
years,
2 years.
and he won 3 Manager of the Year
It was
awards.
incredible.
But you don't win them up here, do you? If you're no Celtic or Rangers.
He was incredible.
And the thing, when he came to Liverpool and he was coaching the boys loved it, because when they walk out, sometimes yourself when you're going out for training, it's stop and start and everything was bang, bang, bang. And the boys loved it because it was well organised, and it was impressive as well.
Oh, it was. That's one thing. It was just. I mean, everything was seamless. There was no messing around. The boys knew exactly what you're doing. Everything was planned. I mean, listen, you feel as if you're being disrespectful to other coaches, but there was one thing for me that set Steve apart was his organisation. Is incredible.
He says he was ready for management, and the only phone call he could take to stop him was when you phoned him about going with him to Liverpool. So he did. Said he couldn't turn down King Kenny.
But he couldn't get a phone call for a manager's job either, could he? He wouldn't have come to us.
Go back to Andy Robertson. I mean, he's been linked with moves away from Liverpool. I don't think he will now, but you don't want to see him move on.
But I don't know how much depth there is to that for him to go somewhere. Why would they let him go? And then they've got to take Simicast back for somewhere else. No, I hope he stays where he is, because he's been brilliant for Liverpool.
You talked about at the start about the Lisbon Lions and how big an effect they had in you coming through. Knowing him, I think he'd have the same presence now with the younger players at Liverpool, and to just lose that so easily, it would be a big blow, I'd imagine.
Well, he's a decent fella, right? He's done a great job. I don't know if he is going to move on, right? For Liverpool, it might be as well to just let it run its course. Run its course, and when his contract's up, it's up. And then if he has to go somewhere else, it'll be sad. And the Liverpool supporters, I hope we give him an opportunity, if he is going to go, to say cheerio to him, because that's the least he deserves. But whether he does go, I don't know. But at the end of the season, if it's mapped out that he's not getting a contract, then he's got to go, isn't he? So he's been great for Liverpool.
Yeah, it has been.
You see Martin O'Neill and Dick Advocate get back into management. Is that something which you'd fancy?
What?
Well, taking a team again, managing again. Martin's
managing you for a few years makes him feel like 90 though. Just tell him no. Yeah.
By the way, you've done enough damage, right? You aged me. You aged me at Blackburn. Now you're trying to tip me over the edge here.
Last one before we go. As I said, Scotland has always been held a special place in your heart. How do you think they'll go on at the World Cup? Do you think this group, under Stevie Clark, could get out of the group?
I think they've got it's a hard group, but there's 3 options for qualifying, isn't there?
Yeah.
First, second, or even if you finish
third,
third.
runner up, yeah.
But Morocco,
Yeah.
Tough game.
they're not too bad.
Yeah.
Haiti, Brazil, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We
Always
got a
seems to
draw
be
with
Brazil.
Still never qualified.
But we're optimistic. We hopefully can get out of the group.
I tell you, that game against Denmark, dearie me. The first one went in, didn't he? And I was at the chair. I was at the chair and I went, oh no, we've got 85 minutes to go. 85 minutes to go. And then,
Unbelievable game.
great goals. Great goals. No,
One last one before we go. We know you do some amazing charity work as well with Marina. The hard work that goes into that, doing some, as I said, fantastic stuff. How big has that been for you throughout your career as well, or throughout your lot of stages in life?
I think it's not just myself that it's got the same thoughts as Marina. We've both been brought up the same way. In those days, you were taught to respect people that had a uniform, or the police or the teacher or whatever. There's not a great deal of respect now. So for myself, you've got a wee bit of a platform there with the football. Marina she had a problem about 15 years ago or something, and said, look, I just want to say thanks to the staff, the way they've looked after her. Not because of her name, just as a patient. You've looked after her brilliantly. She's on the mend now, so what can we do to help? And I thought, it'll be a game of golf. So we'll organise a golf event, right? And she went, oh, that'd be brilliant. I said, well, what is it? She said, well, the 5th floor in the hospital, it used to be a children's ward. That's lying empty. They're not using it. They said, we'll give you that for the charity, if you want to renovate it up and put an oncology suite or something on. I went, oh, okay. So, honestly, they did it, and it's magnificent. It's magnificent. It's all that wood oak stuff.
Wow.
Incredible.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. And I mean, I know it shouldn't be humorous, but it was because of what they were doing. But the guy put is it an aquarium, you call it? The fish tank.
So
we're sitting in, it's due to open later on in the Sunday, and I'm sitting and I'm going, what's going on there? There's a fish, one of the fish swinging about, it's got a big chunk of it. I went, no. Phoned the guy up. I said, by the way, I think we've got a problem. He said, the fish are fighting. So the guy comes out. He had to take the lid off, pull the fish out. He put 2 fish in that different, right? So they don't get on with each other. I said, Jesus Christ, that's a bad omen, isn't it? What's the woman going to be like coming in here? So she, that's where it started for. And Marina and her daughter Lauren, unbelievable. The organisation they do, the time they have. We've got an event on the 7th, which is the ball, Marina's ball. But they've also got a drop-in centre now. They've got flats near Everton's ground, and the women come along and they all sit there, and you walk in and there's a long table and there's all chairs round about it. There's a woman in there, does their nails, they can get their hair done, they can go for a recce, right? They can go for consultation in the same place, they go in once or twice a week. And it's unbelievable what it does for the women. And you see the women, I mean, they still might be ill, right? But for them all getting together, it gives them a wee opportunity to, it must be difficult at home, but when they see them all together, when they're all together, they have a laugh and a joke, and they're, honestly God, we stand outside, you think it was a party it was on.
Yeah.
And that's
amazing.
brilliant for
amazing.
them.
Yeah.
And she did a wee bit for the guys with the prostate stuff. And the guy passed away, so they're trying to keep that going as well. And the guy had a big works van, right? And I don't know, this might get edited out. So he's got on it, don't be a dick, it's only a prick. Go and get tested.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
I said to me, that's funny. I said, do you know what? It'd be brilliant. It's brilliant in Liverpool. It'd be brilliant in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not so sure too many other places. And that was it. So the people have been fantastically supportive of
brilliant.
Done,
Amazing what you've done as well with family.
No,
but listen, I think we've all thoroughly enjoyed
amazing
that, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Aye.
Was that you were going to say yes to us, but you've had enough of the big man? It's always good to see him.
I'll not be working anyway. That's the first.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.